When you hear the word enlightenment, what actually pops into your head? Are you picturing some magical superpower reserved just for monks meditating on a misty mountain? Or is it something you can actually move toward today, right in your very own living room? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to completely strip away all that mystical jargon and show you exactly how to cultivate a higher consciousness in your everyday, highly caffeinated life.
So let's kick things off with a really big question. What does it actually mean to be enlightened? We live in this highly stressed, always-on modern world, and our first instinct is usually just to, escape it. But here's the real curiosity gap. Does escaping our chaotic lives actually work, or does it quietly make everything infinitely worse over time? And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how we try to cope. When we're overwhelmed, we naturally look for the absolute nearest exit. We overeat, maybe we drink a little too much, we fall into the bottomless trap of endless online shopping, or we literally just sleep the entire weekend away. And hey, it is completely normal to want an escape hatch, but the hard reality is these strategies don't actually heal you. They just hit the pause button. And while you're paused, your baseline stress is just secretly building up in the background. You're just delaying the inevitable, really. To truly change the way you think, you have to stop running from your own life. Which brings us to our core definition. Enlightenment isn't about floating 3 feet above the ground, I promise. It's simply about rising above your ego to a much more spacious, compassionate, and focused state of mind. It's a practical, totally accessible shift. And the research actually shows you do not need a lifetime of absolute isolation to get there. You really just need to walk 3 distinct, actionable paths. Path 1. Anchoring in the present. Okay, let's dive into this and look at why we absolutely must stop trying to escape our current reality. To reach this elevated state of mind, we have to fundamentally change our relationship with right now. That means we have to stop living in our regrets about the past and stop living in our endless anxieties about the future. And that's exactly where mindfulness comes in. Being mindful simply means being deeply, entirely rooted in the present moment. But, okay, that raises a massive question. How exactly do you just be present when your phone is constantly buzzing, your boss is emailing you something weird, and you have literally a million errands to run? Well, you use your built-in hardware. You use the 5 senses technique. This is a highly actionable way to ground yourself almost immediately. You literally just walk through your senses. Notice the pale gray paint on your walls. Listen for the faint hum of your laptop fan or the traffic outside. Smell the air. Maybe it's the lingering scent of your morning coffee. Feel the cool breeze from the AC on your skin, and focus on the physical taste in your mouth. By running through this mental checklist, you force a hard reset on your brain. It pulls you right out of your anxieties and drops you right back into physical reality. It's basically a circuit breaker for stress. But I know what you're thinking. What about your thoughts? Because when your environment gets quiet, the mind usually gets super loud. The goal here is to let those thoughts pass like clouds in the sky. Do not fight them. Fighting a thought just gives it way more power over you. Instead, try treating your internal monologue like a scrolling social media feed that you just refuse to engage with. Just acknowledge it, like, yep, it makes sense I'm stressing about that presentation, and then just let it scroll right by without judging yourself. Remember, you are the observer, not the thoughts themselves. Another incredible anchor for the present is daily gratitude. Things like envy and focusing on what you lack, those are massive, absolute roadblocks on the path to enlightenment. To combat them, try listing just 3 things you're grateful for every single morning. And no, it doesn't have to be massive. It can literally be a warm breakfast, a cat who loves you, or just a really comfortable bed to sleep in. Honestly, acknowledging your daily blessings creates this powerful psychological shift. It roots you firmly in the goodness of right now rather than the scarcity of what you don't have yet. Moving on to path 2, opening your filtered mind. Think about this for a second. How often do you stubbornly assume you know exactly what someone else is thinking or experiencing? We all do it, right? To open our minds, we really have to move from judging others to just assessing them without judgment. Let's say a coworker is consistently late meeting deadlines. Your ego immediately wants to judge them as lazy, and you get angry. But an enlightened mind simply assesses the situation. You recognize the habit, you adjust your own timeline expectations, but you do not assume you know their inner struggles. Basically, you give them grace. And why is giving grace so absolutely crucial? Because truth is relative. Every single person on this earth filters the world through their own mind and their own incredibly unique experiences. Your reality is simply not their reality. To truly gain higher awareness, we have to step way outside our narrow perspectives. We have to read more, step out of our comfort zones, and approach other cultures and beliefs with a desperate desire to learn rather than a reflex to just judge. When you finally realize your own biases, it is a massive aha moment.
And then we have to actually align our everyday actions with this newly open mindset. Take a quick moment to do a personal self-inventory. If you believe experiences matter more than objects, then spend your money on travel instead of the latest gadget. When you mess up, and you for sure will, don't beat yourself up. Just find the lesson. Replace that negative self-talk of, I can't do this, with, hey, if I keep practicing, I'm going to figure it out. Study diverse thinkers. Let their wisdom challenge your filters, because aligning your actions with your deepest values creates an incredible sense of inner peace.
So, you're practicing being in the present. You're working daily to keep your mind open. But what is the missing link here? What's the final practical catalyst to truly raise your awareness and lock all of this in? Path 3, the power of meditation. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this is the actual daily practice that acts as the vehicle for expanding your awareness.
Meditation is the physical practice that essentially trains your brain for enlightenment. And if you're sitting there thinking you absolutely don't have time for it, I want you to look at this number, 10. You only need a baseline of 10 minutes a day to start seeing profound benefits. Seriously, you do not need an expensive retreat. You don't need hours of total, unbreakable silence. You literally just need a 10-minute commitment to sit with yourself.
Let's move to and see how this builds a simple, tactical progression to get started. First, find a calm environment and just sit comfortably. Close your eyes and notice how your body feels. Then, shift your focus entirely to the physical sensation of your breath. Now here's the secret that ruins meditation for most beginners. Your mind is going to wander. That is completely 100% normal. The goal isn't a totally blank mind. The meditation is the actual act of noticing your mind has wandered and then gently returning it to your breath. Every single time you bring your focus back, that's like doing a bicep curl for your brain.
And hey, if sitting still absolutely drives you crazy, do a walking meditation. You can walk an established path or just wander around your neighborhood. As you step and breathe, thoughts will naturally race in. Let them pass. Just keep your focus on the rhythm of your footsteps. And if you feel like you need training wheels, there are fantastic free resources out there. Apps like Headspace, Calm, or Insight Timer will literally guide you through the process step by step until it all just clicks.
Rising above the ego. This is really what it all comes down to. Shifting from constant judgment to a spacious, compassionate mindset that stays rooted in just being.
Ultimately, whether you're using your 5 senses to ground yourself, giving grace to a coworker, or just breathing for 10 minutes, it all points to the same thing. I want to leave you with this absolutely incredible takeaway from our source material. Nothing in life is permanent, so try not to get attached to people, things, or ideas. The world is constantly changing and evolving. Enlightenment isn't some finish line you cross and then you're done. It's a way of walking. The goal is the path itself.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. Knowing that enlightenment is built right now, in the present moment, through an open mind and just a few minutes of quiet awareness, how will you step closer to enlightenment today?